Have you ever waited so long for something that, when it finally arrived, it brought more questions than answers? That's what happens in Genesis 21, a chapter that's not just about the miraculous birth of Isaac, but also the deep, unexpected tensions that follow. Abraham and Sarah finally receive the promise they've been waiting for, but this joy quickly collides with the reality of Ishmael's presence. Suddenly, the fulfillment of God's promise introduces a new chapter filled with challenges that test their faith and relationships in ways they never anticipated. But here's the twist. What seems like a situation teetering on the edge of disaster becomes an opportunity for God's grace and provision to shine through. When Sarah demands that Hagar and Ishmael be sent away, it feels like the story is heading toward heartbreak. Yet, it's in this wilderness of separation that God's provision emerges most powerfully. The real question we face today is how to trust in that divine provision when we find ourselves in our own wilderness moments. Genesis 21 isn't just a tale from ancient times, it's a blueprint for navigating the complex intersections of faith, promise, and the sometimes painful realities of life. Let's read the chapter together. Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the very time God had promised him. Abraham gave the name Isaac to the son Sarah bore him. When his son Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him, as God commanded him. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Sarah said, "God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me." And she added, "Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age." The child grew and was weaned, and on the day Isaac was weaned Abraham held a great feast. But Sarah saw that the son whom Hagar the Egyptian had borne to Abraham was mocking, and she said to Abraham, "Get rid of that slave woman and her son, for that woman's son will never share in the inheritance with my son Isaac." The matter distressed Abraham greatly because it concerned his son. But God said to him, "Do not be so distressed about the boy and your slave woman. Listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. I will make the son of the slave into a nation also, because he is your offspring." Early the next morning Abraham took some food and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. He set them on her shoulders and then sent her off with the boy. She went on her way and wandered in the desert of Beersheba. When the water in the skin was gone, she put the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went off and sat down about a bowshot away, for she thought, "I cannot watch the boy die." And as she sat there, she began to sob. God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation." Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. So she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. God was with the boy as he grew up. He lived in the desert and became an archer. While he was living in the desert of Paran, his mother got a wife for him from Egypt. At that time Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his forces, said to Abraham, "God is with you in everything you do. Now swear to me here before God that you will not deal falsely with me or my children or my descendants. Show to me in the country where you now reside as a foreigner the same kindness I have shown to you." Abraham said, "I swear it." Then Abraham complained to Abimelech about a well of water that Abimelech's servants had seized. But Abimelech said, "I don't know who has done this. You did not tell me, and I heard about it only today." So Abraham brought sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two men made a treaty. Abraham set apart 7 ewe lambs from the flock, and Abimelech asked Abraham, "What is the meaning of these 7 ewe lambs you have set apart by themselves?" He replied, "Accept these 7 lambs from my hand as a witness that I dug this well." So that place was called Beersheba, because the two men swore an oath there. After the treaty had been made at Beersheba, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his forces, returned to the land of the Philistines. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there he called on the name of the Lord, the eternal God. And Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines for a long time. Let's say a quick prayer to thank the Lord for his mercy. But first, if this resonates with you, don't let the conversation end here. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay connected as we continue to explore the profound wisdom in these ancient texts. Your journey of faith and understanding doesn't stop here. There's so much more to uncover together. Hey God, just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for the wisdom we've uncovered in this study. It's incredible how your word speaks to us, guiding us through the ups and downs of life. We're grateful for the lessons on trust, grace, and provision that you've shown us today. Now, as we step back into our daily lives, we ask for your help to live out these truths. Walk with us, guide our decisions, and remind us that you're always there, even in the tough moments. Help us to trust in your timing, lean on your grace, and see your provision in every situation. We're so grateful for your love and care. Amen. As you reflect on the lessons from Genesis 21, ask yourself, how often do you find yourself in a wilderness, feeling like your resources are running dry? Are you trusting that, just like with Hagar and Ishmael, provision is right around the corner, even if you can't see it yet? The challenges we face, the tensions that arise in our lives, are not just random trials. They are opportunities for us to witness the unfolding of God's grace in ways that we could never imagine. What steps are you taking today to apply these truths? Are you holding onto a promise that seems delayed, or are you navigating a separation that feels overwhelming? Remember, the same God who provided a well in the wilderness and made a covenant of peace with Abraham is at work in your life. Don't just read these stories, live them out. Let them guide you in trusting the divine provision, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. And, as always, don't forget to check the last video and learn more about Abraham's history.